finished gift wrapping a bicycle, smoking one out. Bro, how the fuck you gift wrap a bike? Wait a minute. Man, you supposed to just have that shit in the closet behind the couch. You got me with that one. This man said, I just gift wrapped a bike. I'm trying to think, have I ever really seen... I don't think I've ever seen... I seen a bike with a bow on it. So I guess, I mean, I get what you're saying. This man up early in the morning doing the Santa Claus dance. You gotta make the memories. Gotta make the memories worthwhile. But damn. I'm about to roll up. I was just trying to get my apple in real quick, man. Cause I was gonna smoke, and then I said, nah, if I smoke now, I'm gonna be super hungry. So I figured, let me just eat the fruit first, and then I should be good to smoking. Fucking around with some of these old beats. I don't even really know what to do with this one. Some gospel music.
Excuse me, in French in you this way. That's from a Chinese person who had to say his name was Patrick Murphy. You look at him like he's insane because Murphy is an Irish name. Excuse me, in French in you this way. That's from a Chinese person who had to say his name was Patrick Murphy. You look at him like he's insane because Murphy is an Irish name, a European name, or the name that has a Caucasian or a white background. And a yellow person, Chinese is a yellow man, and he has nothing to do or no connection whatsoever with the name Murphy. And if it doesn't look proper for a person who is yellow or Chinese to be walking around named Murphy or Jones or Johnson or Bunch or Powell, I think it would be just as improper for a black person or the so-called Negro in this country, because we're taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to walk around with these names, and therefore he teaches us that during slavery, the same slave master who owned us put his last name on us to denote that we were his property.
You know what? I might have to go make some coffee real quick too, bro. Let me
Excuse me, in French in you this way. That's from a Chinese person who had to say his name was Patrick Murphy. You look at him like he's insane because Murphy is an Irish name, a European name, or the name that has a Caucasian or a white background. And a yellow person, Chinese is a yellow man, and he has nothing to do or no connection whatsoever with the name Murphy. And if it doesn't look proper for a person who is yellow or Chinese to be walking around named Murphy or Jones or Johnson
Let me go get it. Let me go get this coffee pot real quick. Like, I'm just trying to play around with some shit I ain't listened to in a minute. Um, I'll be right back. Matter of fact, bro, and throw that gospel, one back on. Hey, man, I'm about to do the Instagram live too, bro. If you want to jump on that shit with me, what was that one called? You know what? It was called gospel, I think. Gospel music. Do your kids request stuff for Christmas? Or do you just get them like shit they think would be cool? Cause I know I ain't never got nothing I asked for Christmas. And I remember, like the last time I seen my cousin write a Christmas list, nah, they just get stuff. Yo, my cousin, this nigga spoiled though. Like he wrote a Christmas list, yo. Like itemized with prices, everything. This motherfucker had a $1,300 Christmas list that he submitted to his parents. Like, these are the things that I want. If you can't get everything on the list, these are the more specific things that I want. I was like, you do Christmas like that? He was like, yeah, man. You don't write out your Christmas list? I'm like, bruh, I know you hella spoiled, nigga. Itemized Christmas list, not the Santa, to his parents. I'm like, I'll be down. I ain't never had it like that. Like you said, I just got stuff, nigga. And then on the Christmases when I did get a bike, boy, I was super happy. Super happy than a motherfucker. Boy, I got a bike. Oh shit. No, I'm lying. I remember one request I did get. Matter of fact, I requested that shit so much I got it twice, yo. I wanted a VHS copy of Jurassic Park when that shit first came out. I was like, I want to have my own copy of this movie. I want to watch this shit all the time, yo. And I was begging everybody, yo. I want Jurassic Park, the tape. I want the movie. I want to own it. And then 2 of my aunts wound up getting that shit for me. Like, I guess I nagged everybody so much that it's like, damn, let me get this nigga this movie. But they should have communicated with each other, because both of y'all bought the same fucking gift. But I do remember that. I got that shit that one year. That's the thing right there. Oh, you making demands? You making requests? Now you getting nothing but a lump of coal. That's what bad kids do. Yeah, you don't be putting out there what you want for Christmas. That's like you say, the whole thing is supposed to be like a surprise. I don't know. But nowadays these kids different. I seen the one video of the kid, it must be from last Christmas. Motherfucker got a PS5, but it's him and his brother, and there only was one PS5. And he was looking like, what? And the mom was like, you gotta share it. It's both of y'all's. He started crying and pouting over that shit because he ain't want to share the PS5 with his brother. I'm like, you know what? Good thing I kept all the receipts, bitch. Anything I buy for Christmas, I'm keeping all the receipts. Act funny if you want. Ain't it? You get what you deserve and need, and then if you're lucky, it's what you want at the same time. Motherfucker. Cause I definitely got clothes and socks and all that shit for Christmas. That's the time when motherfuckers get you some shit you need. A gift that you can actually fucking use. I ain't never had no new game system until I bought that shit myself. I bought my PlayStation 1 myself. PlayStation 1 came out when we was like in middle school. My first job was at Burger King. But when the PlayStation 1 came out, bro, I just bust my ass and bought my own console. Before that, like, everything else was fucking hand-me-downs, yo. I had my cousin's old Nintendo. I had my other cousin's old Super Nintendo and they old Sega. And then, honestly, like, some of my cousins had some bread, too, but they were girls. And their dad would get them, like, all the newest games every year. They had all the games, but they ain't really wanting in the games. He just thought that's what all kids like. So one Christmas, he got these motherfuckers the goddamn Sega Saturn for Christmas. Bro, don't you know them girls ain't never played that shit, bro? They ain't never played the Sega Saturn. They ain't even. I was like, yo, give me that shit, man. Y'all motherfuckers crazy, bro. Give me this goddamn game console. Shit. Like I said, the first game console that I had new, I had to buy that shit my damn self. I remember my second joint I got was the goddamn, I had the Dreamcast. But yeah, motherfuckers, Christmas, like you said, you get what the fuck you need. And you don't need no video game this year. But yes, I do need a video game. Yo, my man, Jack. Motherfucking Call of Duty, buddy. Let me go grab this coffee, yo. You guys, people popping on Instagram. Good to go now. What do you call it? Bud and mud? Bud and mud. How you liking them? The glasses. Who make them shit, yo? The video glasses, yo. Ever since you was showing us them shit, yo, I be seeing ads for that shit all the time. Why can't Ray-Ban? Yo, I be seeing before I seen you with them shits on your stream, I heard about it like once or twice, or like watched a little tech video. The young black dude who be showing off all the new tech, man. I seen that shit like a couple times, and then you had that shit, and once me and you talked about that shit, bro. Like I see that ad for that shit all the fucking time now. Every time I stroll, anything, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, like that ad be popping up hella much now. The algorithm trying to get me is like, oh, you've had a conversation about this product. No, you've had an in-depth conversation about this product. Maybe you should share this product a little bit more. That shit really got me, yo, bro, I see that shit so much since you showed that one. I watched that one video of you walking the dog, going to the store, and then, like, when we was talking about it, and I was asking, like, what it was, bro, ever since then, like, I done seen that advertisement, like, over a dozen times, bro. Ooh. That'd be dope. Yeah, somebody at the Grand Canyon, and then somebody at the Louvre Museum. But I can see what you seeing, you can see what I'm seeing. And then we can both share that shit together. That'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be dope as fuck, bro. Yeah, but just having that first person view, like, for the longest, that been like some professional cinematography, gimbal cameraman type shit. Have the fucking harness and all that shit. And then they did start making like the chest harnesses for just your phone, for motherfuckers be doing parkour and all kind of shit like that. But now, just boop, there's my camera. I don't gotta put no fucking harness on and strap my phone in and do all this other shit. I can just like boop, 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 and then we in there. If I'm gonna be really jumping and running and all kind of shit, just make sure I got my little strap, my shit, tighten my strap good. Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. I'm good. Exactly, bro. I say, I love the fact that you love gadgets and shit, bro. Cause you be having a lot of cool little shit, man. That motherfuckers, when do you think about, yo? Like the cyberpunk, Android cyber mask and all that shit. I be seeing that shit a lot too now. Make me want to dress as a motherfucking some Comic-Con shit. But yeah, there's a bunch of cool ass shit. The technology is just, bro, that shit going so fast. And like, And that's what they've been saying for years and years though, is that it's gonna be so integrated into our everyday shit that it's gonna basically disappear almost. All technology will be just like electricity. Like you know it's there, but you really don't see that shit. Just like now, how we streaming, chatting live, like that shit just work. Now you got cameras in your glasses. Then they're gonna have fucking clothing. Like smart clothing is the biggest thing that motherfuckers really trying to figure out and shit. Clothes that can motherfucking compress to fit exactly how you shape or change temperature depending on your body temperature or the weather outside. Um, like that jacket in Back to the Future, that shit was just self drying, yo. That shit got wet. It's drying mode, blow out the water. Like smart clothes, uh, smart wearable accessories like your smartwatch. That was the first big deal. Now you can talk to that shit, take phone calls, text messages, even pictures on that shit. Now we got the Google glasses and Ray Ban smart link glasses. Like the shit is crazy. I love it. Yeah, we need to keep all the cool shit, man, and take all the destructive shit and throw that shit in the trash, man. Just let's make cool hoverboards and motherfucking yeah, like Back to the Future really did show like smart clothing, how to self lacing shoes. You just put your foot in that bitch, that shit cinch your foot, lace up, fit your foot just fine. It get dark, the lights come on your shoes, all kind of shit, man. Clothes that make sure they fit you, glasses that can record major incidences just in case anything fucking happen. Bitch, I got an alibi. I'd be just like the cops though. I'm turning that shit off in certain circumstances. Well, Mr. Prince, it seemed like you turned your glasses off. It was a malfunction. I don't know what happened. Mm-mm. I am gonna get some painting done this morning. I will. Talking to the meta database is cool. I can imagine. And now, um, Elon Musk done put his shit out there called Gronk. Like you can talk to that shit to the Tesla database. I don't know if this even worked right. Let me see. Okay, so if I just alternate these two back and forth, it might sound stupid though. Or I should have. You know what? What if I do this and then do that, then do this, then do that. All right, now let's see. Then go back to the beginning. Grok. I kind of like that. What the hell? I like that. I gotta heart that one. I ain't gonna use it, but that shit, they sound smooth as fuck. it is what it is. Sounds like trash. This might sound dumb as hell. Yo, what up, Queen? Let's make some beats. I got some sounds to work with. I might have to take that. Yo, my man MJ, what's good, bro? I don't think that'll fit in there. Like a classic 808. Alright. Not that one. Not that one. Or what if I tried a jazz bass line? What if we do we have jazz bass? There's only 3 jazz basses in here. Definitely not that. What about this? I might have to just make a bass line. I used that one before for something. Where's that? There was a section. Not. Future bass? Was it? It wasn't future bass. I don't know. One of these categories, I saved a lot of bass lines that were like slapping, but there's so many shits. Yo, why can't I can't find this shit. It might be this one. No. I like that, but it seems like it's too slow. don't think this will go right, but we'll see. I guess I let it loop like that for a minute. Yo, chorus is good, bro. Good morning, everybody. I was just, I don't know, made a little beat, something to listen to real quick. It's got a couple of good sounds in there, something I can mess around with later on if I want to try to refine it a little bit. But got a nice little flow, nice little melody. I ain't sure if I like that guitar riff in there, if I can find a different guitar riff, but I like the drums and the that bass line. Matter of fact, I might boost the drums up. What if I add a compressor to the drums, add a little bit more bass to it, a little echo and reverb. Drums try to sound a little more crisp. Might lower the piano a little bit more, bring the bass line up a little bit. About that. Yeah, the family was good, was good. What y'all think about it?
Yeah. It's time for the celebration. It's time for the dedication. Whoever got a passion, don't hesitate. Don't keep waiting, yeah. Put it on your plate. Eat it all up in dedication. New conversations, new destinations.
I like it a little bit. I like it a little bit.
Conversations, new destinations, new horizon, new skylines, and enterprise, and that time, and my time, and it fly by, and it.
You can say, somebody can get on this a little bit, yo. Yeah. So you what? Hey, I'm good. I'm chilling. Now just I don't know what to call it. Well, I mean, what does it sound like? It sounds like man. I don't know what I just said. Time for celebration. Time for new dedication. If you got a passion, don't keep waiting. No hesitation. New conversations, new destinations. New destination? Could that be a good title? New destination? I think I can stick with that. Rename new destination. Done. Okay, we got that one. Hey, we made a new beat this morning. Ain't that beautiful? We did something. We were creative, and we made something that we are pleased with. That's all you can ask for. Don't burn yourself out. Come on now, go out now, like a good little doobie. Don't burn yourself up, bro. All right. So now what we want to do is continue to go along this skyline. If I can get the photos up. Drop some ashes on my dash. Drop ashes on the dash. Alright. Maybe. Wow. Alright, so yeah, what I want to do is start to I'm just adding some first layer of details to this background. So I think I can continue to do that. Cause all I really need right now is like brown and some yellows. That should be fairly easy for an hour or so. You know? So let me know when you finish that beat. Make some dance moves to that jump. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody got to get in on it. You know what I'm saying? You get in where you fit in. Making dance moves is very creative. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I like it a lot. Let me see if I can get some of these tripods set up so we can get better. I'm dropping shit. Try to get a better view on the canvas. We've been on YouTube for about an hour, so let's try to paint for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll get back to doing some chit chat, conversation, beat making, freestyle, producer, painter, extraordinaire. You know what I'm saying? How can I do this? We'll be back soon. I feel you. Same bat time, same bat channel. So, alright. Wow, YouTube camera is way high. So what we're trying to do is, right now, excuse me, I still got schmutz my screen. So we're just working back here. And since these buildings and structures are so far in the background, they're really loose. Not a lot of detail, but you can see a definite definition between the darker sides and the lighter sides of the buildings because of where the light source is coming at. So we just want to try to get some of this contrast into that background back there. And so this is roughly what I'm working at here. You can already see I started doing like a little bit back here. And on this side it's a little more shadows, and the tree line has started to have a little more detail in it. Like I say, slowly, just layer by layer is the way that I normally do it for YouTube. So yeah, the reference is here, and we're working on this portion of the horizon, the city skyline back there. But it's looking really good. The clouds came out really nice. That's what I've been working on for like the past day or so. And then yesterday, like I say, we started to try to detail a little more in the back. I really want to get as much of the background around the pyramid done as possible before I start painting the pyramid, because I want those lines to stay really sharp. So now, as I do the background, I'm overlapping on top of the pyramid a little bit here and there, trying not to as much as possible, but if I do, it won't be a big deal, because like I say, then I can come back and make these lines really sharp and crisp again. What is this dude right here talking about? Yo, Art, what's good, man? There's no sound for this?
I'll pick one who died on July 4th. It's Thomas Jefferson. He was 33 years old when he wrote the Declaration of Independence, and you all are sitting on a swivel chair today. He invented the swivel chair while he was at it, while writing that Declaration of Independence. That's that founding spirit that we miss, that we're the pioneers. We're the explorers, the guy who set out on the Lewis and Clark expeditions.
All right.
And at the heart of what would Thomas Jefferson say to today's
That's Vivek Ramaswamy speaking.
We haven't talked about it as much tonight, but I think it is one of the interesting ideological discussions we're having in our party is freedom of speech. You get to express your mind freely, no matter how heinous the opinion. Thomas Jefferson understood that.
All right,
He's an
thank you,
inspiration
sir. Thank you, Mr. Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy, to conclude our...
Yeah, I'm really big on freedom of speech too, Vivek. I'm right there with you, bro. He seems to be pretty popular right now. I haven't listened to him in a minute, but people losing their minds over this Netflix movie. Do you know why? Oh, the dude Dane Calloway did a 4-hour video on Leave the World Behind. But everybody's talking about that. Once again, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this is total propaganda. This is total propaganda, which is, it's cool, you know. I understand that propaganda exists, and that our country definitely utilizes it, but it's just like, wow. Nowadays it's like, wow. You guys just really put that out there though. And then someone told me a while ago that if the elites tell you what they're doing, then it sits a little more clearly on their conscience. And they don't really feel like they're bad people because they are telling you what they're doing. It comes down to the fact of, are you paying attention or not? Yeah, I'm still on IG, bro. It's live. You want to pop in there? Yeah, I've been on IG the whole time. I started streaming a lot more on IG. I be having good conversation, man. A lot of other artists come into the IG and just have really, really good art conversations lately. So I try to do it more. So for almost the past 2 weeks, I've been dual streaming. And the other day, me and some of the other art homies were in here so long, like it pushed us to the limit of whatever time limit is on IG. Like we were in there for that whole time limit, and that shit kicked us out. I was like, dang, that was my first time ever doing a live so long that like we reached the time limit and it timed out on us. That shit was, I don't know, it felt like hours, felt like at least 2 or 3 hours. And that's when I started thinking then, like, well, dang, how long do they allow you to do a live stream when they're... Because that shit, like I said, it felt like we was in there for hours. Yo, good morning, bro.
What's going on, man?
You know, it's doing it.
Happy holidays.
Yes, sir. Same to you, man. Same to you.
Hold on. Let me just post this here. I just came back from the store. That's what I was saying earlier about the IG, about it not being so... The glasses,
Mm-hmm.
these,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
being so cool. I mean, I don't want to knock them. They're cool, but they're not so cool. Because I can't call you on this right here and go live with you. Like, I can't have my glasses on right now, and then instead of you seeing me, you see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that just yet. I can go live with them, and then my viewers can see what I see. That's cool. But you can't do the one-on-ones. Like, you know how we hanging out right now?
Yeah, yeah.
What if I just have my glasses on, right? I should be able to. Why not?
Yeah.
It connects to the database and all that, but I'm figuring they might send it. I'm hoping and figuring if they're smart, they'll send an update.
Well, nah, you're...
I really want to make sales, because I was just about to put up a video of my conclusion of them, and it's more negative than positive.
Well, I mean, you're on the cutting edge though. Like this is some brand new tech, phase 1. So that's what they're really hoping for all the time is like feedback from you. The first people who really like, okay, you got this new shit, let me try it out, and like you already debugged it. Like, well, this don't work. I don't like this, and I would, if I was you, I would put out, like a review on it. They'll make that shit better. I mean, like you say, just in a few days, a couple of uses, you already see like, okay, the shortcomings of it. But then at the same time, like this their first one, so Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. Like I'm excited about the next few years in technology, man. Like the next 5-6 years, where we're gonna have like some crazy tech, man.
Guaranteed, guaranteed. For what they've achieved with these, and I'm kicking myself because I didn't get I didn't pay the extra $50 for the lens that change. So
Change how?
during the day, the sunglasses.
Oh.
At night, they go clear.
Oh. But they want an extra $50 for that though.
2 years quietly, the temperate changing lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing, I don't know how long it's been around. Like forever. If it's just that just came into play in the last 2 years, it's something they've always had. I had back now for a decade. Only rich people were getting them or something. But, and additionally, I mean, just critique. I can do that. They don't give you enough. It's funny. They advertise hundreds of different models, you know, but when you go to the site and all that, there's not 100 different models, and they don't give you a lot of leeway on putting together your glasses.
Mm.
See, I got the solid black ones, but I wanted the transparent where you can see all of the mechanics throughout the glasses.
Mm.
I wanted those. They have them, but I couldn't find them.
And that's on the home website?
The shit out. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, womp to them on that.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly those were sold out, so they're not up for sale at the moment. But, I mean, it's only plastic frame. I mean, come on, we're talking Ray-Ban here, company that's been around since 1950 or earlier.
Yeah, it seemed like that would be easier to make. You ain't got to dye the plastic or add colors or anything to the fucking plastics.
But guaranteedly, even while I dropped first, that's the most I've ever paid for a pair of sunglasses. Is just marking that up right there. But I will definitely get the next generation.
Yeah.
If they do not send the update that allows us to interact, which they should. If they want to really revolutionize and step ahead of all the other competitors, they already have a famous platform to which it's on. Now it needs to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
Ray-Ban is famous. They fell off there for a minute, and only, white preppy people kept them up. It wasn't too many brothers or the hood. I mean, out in L.A., okay. But, back in, big cities and shit, ain't nobody really rocking up fucking Ray-Bans.
No.
So it wasn't even for that. For me, it was really just it could have been a whole different company, right? It was the whole interactivity of the app. And I like the view. I like that first-person view.
Yeah.
We play video games. Now I'm the tripod in the video game face. Like, I wanna do a lot of shit with it, but I haven't tackled any of that just yet.
Yeah, but Ray-Ban, No, I've never had a pair of Ray-Bans because even their old stuff, like, that shit was just expensive as fuck because their regular glasses like over $100. Like, yeah, like, why I'm gonna spend that money on and that's what I'm saying. Like, the prices of these new glasses, it's not much more than like their regular shit. I'm like,
It isn't. And one other reviewer that I listened to before I made my purchase said so. He's like, I went on the site and there are Ray-Bans that are way more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's why I was like, well, that's cool that, they're keeping it at that price point and still adding all that new technology in it.
It's almost, I like perfection. So it's almost a give to take. So it's almost gimmicky because, okay, pairing, that's a hassle. Pairing your glasses to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Get it to fully go through, recognize, okay, link to your account and all that. That's a hassle.
You had to set up like a
spotty.
You had to set up like some kind of Ray-Ban account or something, or some different account to link it to it, or no?
No. It actually recognized my account. I didn't have to do anything special. Like, really didn't. It's just the connectivity
Okay.
is spotty. Depending on where you are, how much power is in your battery, your charge, which, by the way, is dropping by the minute. So that's why you only get a maximum of 30 minutes of live stream time. That needs to be improved. I mean, for them being the second generation, I didn't see the first. Apparently, on the first, you were able to do everything you can do now, with the exception of the live stream factor. Like, you could record your own little footage, I guess, offload the footage to some platform.
Oh, so this,
It's a cool device to make reels.
so this is the second generation version of those?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the first ones they put out.
That's why my criticism's a little rich, because I'm like, okay, you guys had to go around. All right. You obviously figured some stuff out. What'd you figure out? Okay, you still got some figuring to do.
Yeah.
And I would have already promoted, maybe even shot out to them, hey, because I wouldn't mind supporting a product, but the product's got to be supportable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want to get behind a product that, people are going to be getting ripped off. If you and I can't call each other, good morning, Mark by Shay. If you and I can't call each other, if you go buy a pair of those glasses and we can't call each other on the glasses, there's a problem.
Yeah.
If all we can do is compliment each other on how cool it is while we independently go live, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It like you said, it just seems like a feature that should already be incorporated into the tech.
They slapped an AI in there. You can talk. You can go, hey, Meta, and boop, you're in. You can ask it an array of things. No different than Siri, Google, what have you. So, but that's cool. That's really cool. Doesn't help me none. And they're over exaggerating like a motherfucker. When you see the ads, as you mentioned, right? Some people, some reviewers. I saw one guy, I know that he was lying through the teeth that God gave him. He was like, oh yeah, the audio is, it's crazy. I feel like I'm at the concert. The sound is really good. Oh, I'm from the day of the Walkman. We've been around since audio devices became audio devices.
Mm-hmm.
That their audio leveling is garbage. I didn't feel like it was at anybody's concert. I wanted to turn up. It doesn't drown out the rest of the world. It's just the low, it's a low, high tremble, no bass having, you know what I mean? Mosquito gathering in your ear. Kind of like.
Well, how much do they weigh? Are they really light?
They weigh just like regular sunglasses.
That's crazy though.
And honestly, I mean, I don't notice anything like that. There's no weight on my face or.
Yeah, that's crazy. They can put a camera, a microphone, and all that shit, and it's still pretty light. That's wild.
They just need to up. They should have paired with Bosie's. They need to up their sound big time. Ray-Ban has never been known for anything audio.
Yeah, this is
So
true.
give them a pass as this being their first to second go-round.
Yeah, this is true.
They lied. Anytime you hear anyone talking about the audio, it's just cool. It feels like I'm right at the cut. No, I don't even feel the bass from a bassed out song. And that's not right. No. I should feel the bass kind of just, buzzing off my temple. Boom, boom, like, and I don't. So that you would have like some immersed musical experience with your device. They need to incorporate that. They need to nail that. They didn't.
And then you say the average battery life is about what, 30 minutes?
Battery night, like go live and then go to sunglasses within the same hour. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't know, man. Like I said, it's a cool ass little piece of tech. You had me looking at that shit. I was like, I could probably utilize this for streaming as well. But then, like you say, you can't do a dual live stream, and the sound quality, and then also the battery.
I have no control over all of that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So there's the failure. I have no, mediation, no equalization, no control.
That's why I was wondering if it had an app that came with it, so you can like adjust different things through their own like app service or something.
Nah, it's just locked into Instagram.
Okay.
So if you have them on and you open
Oh.
up your Instagram app, you get an icon. Do you want to go live?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought you had to like connect it to your platforms, but they already have a partnership with Instagram, so that it syncs already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part right there. That's
I
crazy.
appreciate the mention. Happy holidays to you. That's one of your people there, Art Sheen.
Yo, Art by Shield.
Shay.
Yeah, what up? Yo, appreciate it. Oh yeah, I'm fucking up with smart people. Only the cool kids come through here.
It's funny. Last week, somebody called me. Someone said something about me. He said, he ain't nothing but a smart street nigga. I'll take that.
I thank you. I like that compliment.
Like, that's not an insult to me.
It definitely isn't.
That is a whole entire compliment. Wait, you just called me a smart street nigga? Okay, I'll be that. I'll be all of that.
Cause some motherfuckers be smart.
You call me a dumb street nigga. Now we got an issue.
Yeah. Cause some people be smart, and some people be street. But most people can't be smart and street at the same time. That's what I don't know. My grandma always told me that shit too. She was like, because I still would consider myself a nerd, but she was like, them book smarts saying, hey, you gotta have some street smarts, because street smarts will get you a hell of a lot farther than book smarts. They motherfuckers who don't got no education, you know what I'm saying, and can do well.
I mean, potato.
Yeah.
Potato. No, to what they say. They say a smart street nigga, nah, an educated black man.
Haha.
Big difference. I agree. I ain't gonna pick a debate, but potato. Depending on the ninja. Like he said, and that's a fact. Now, every street nigga is smart. Not every smart nigga built for the street.
No, you can't.
Balance the two. Might just be on the side.
Nope. What they say, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden instead of a gardener in a war. I would rather be a warrior in a garden instead of a gardener in a war. Once again, that's just like saying, because street people, you gotta be smart. You know what I'm saying? Or you ain't gonna survive. You know what I'm saying? But you put just a highly book educated person in a real tough street situation, they might not make it. You know what I'm saying? They might not make it. So I don't try to put myself in those situations, but I'm prepared for it. I'll be ready. I'll be ready for any occasion. You gotta have book smarts. You gotta have worldly smarts too.
See, with me, I was gifted, book smart, scholastic scholar-like kid who got forced out of his happy home into the streets there.
Mm-hmm.
And I adapted to my surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back before I got in the streets, friends, kids, other kids in the neighborhood would be like, you know, why do you talk? Why do you talk like that? You know, like, talk like what? What do you talk like you're white? I don't know, what the fuck you mean? I talk like I'm white? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Just because I had acquired good education, a knack for learning. Go fucking figure.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're the one for being able to read. That's different. That's different. That is different. Everybody else, ain't no jokes being made. I ain't never heard no other culture, no other race, no other gender being teased because they excelled in reading and comprehending.
Mm.
I came from a whole tough skin to cloth, boy. Being dumb was cool.
I remember that. And being a nerd was the worst thing you could be.
Being a nerd was the worst thing to be. You know something about something, get your know-it-all ass to fucking around us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Direct to outcast and cancel.
Yep.
Now, oh, that brother knows something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what I like about you? You articulate. You know how to use words and shit.
That's what I always told my son, yo, being a nerd is probably the best compliment you can get. That's somebody acknowledging that they feel like you are smarter than they are. If a motherfucker call you a nerd, take it and run with it, bro. That's a good thing, man. Being a nerd is a good thing. You're a fucking nerd? What is it? Yeah.
I'm a nerd. When they be like, ain't nobody ever tell, they had to tell you. If I got it, that's what you got it. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They go with Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? This old, you know what I mean? Malcolm X sounding motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thanks. That's what's up. You say, I'm giving you the vibes, I'm giving leadership. That's what you hearing? Alright.
Appreciate that.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
Yeah. Motherfuckers think an insult, people think they're insulting you, but actually complimenting you and don't even realize it.
On the real, for real. You can never insult me with compliments of intelligence, I swear.
Yeah. By saying I'm smart or saying I remind you of somebody who is smart, like, well, thank you.
See, the same people that'll say something like, you know, I can't even. It's difficult for me to stoop my blade.
I agree. Say you can't even think like a dumb person. I don't even know how to think like a dumb person.
say, want to say demographic, but say, you know, disposition or something else. You know what I'm saying? They'll just grab a word that sounds like the word that they were trying to use, but embodies an entire different definition. I love that. I love that. It's a whole love-hate relationship. The dumb and the smart.
Man. Again, that's why I try to limit as many arguments as I can. Like you said, you gonna make me try to think as dumb as you do. I don't got time for it, man. I can't even power my brain low enough. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God,
just
bro.
trying to focus. Okay, wait, let me scroll down. Okay, what? Oh my God.
It'd be too much energy, man.
It is what it is. That's what it is, because he is who he is. What the president said? Of all quotes from him, I think that's the best one, by far. He is who he is because it is what it is. He said something. You ain't never heard that shit?
Mm-mm.
It is what it is because he is who it is. He who is. He said something off the wall.
Who said that? Biden said that?
Yeah.
Man.
As soon as I find it,
Hey, bro, that's a question I got for you too, man. Since you in Colorado, how you feel about your state trying to take my man off the fucking ballot, yo?
I saw that just a few days ago.
Yo, what? Yo, your state trying to hang this dude, yo.
They don't. I mean, they some haters here.
I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, what the hell?
They concentrate. I guess they don't like him. I don't know if they speak for it. Well, you know they do, actually. I mean, if they're passing a law to take him on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
his votes here. That's fucked up.
now that's something I wouldn't mind seeing is like a survey of the entire state to see like who actually supports this, or is this just something they're trying to like run through the legal court system without getting any real feedback from the public? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird, man.
All I know is just imagine this: if they're able to do that, right? Then what's stopping the other states?
Yeah.
For future presidencies and what have you. You know what? We're just not going to acknowledge. We're not opening up our voting systems.
Exactly. And so this is what I'm saying. If you like this dude or not, like they're setting a lot of precedents with this motherfucker. Like they kicked him.
That shouldn't matter.
No.
Whether you like him or not, then you go vote or you don't.
They kicked him off of social media. They keep trying to get this motherfucker locked up. Now they trying to get him off the ballot and different. Yeah, it's just like everything they doing. Oh, we gotta do this now. We gotta do that. And it's like, why y'all trying so? And that's what making me think like there's something bigger than this. Cause why is y'all trying so hard to keep this one man from being the president, yo?
Because he's not one of theirs. That's what I gathered overall.
That's what I keep saying, man.
Not one of them.
If a person gets hated on by both sides, then he must be the good guy. Because the Democrats don't like him and the Republicans don't like him, even though he ran as a Republican. So it's like, what is he doing? He's upsetting too much shit. He's trying to change too much shit, and both parties just like, nope, keep this motherfucker out.
One of his supporters that I respected, their opinion, his objective was to drain the swamp, as they say, which means to do away with all negative and corrupt politics and the effects and change laws and all that jobs.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna, from what I heard, that's what he wants to bring an end to. He's got the money. They've got the money that he's got too, kind of like some of them, a lot of them. So he's like, yeah, but these people went about it, different. I mean, he came out the door at Hillary with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use the same system as your people. You want to do my taxes? How about doing your friend's taxes?
Mm-hmm. And that's why you won't change nothing.
That's why that got left alone.
Yep. You won't change nothing because all your friends benefit too.
Clinton plans are against Donald Trump. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
But has he had anyone killed? Has he had anyone? You know what I mean? In the time that he didn't start a war. No, she did shit. So he outshined her on that. We were about to have the first female president since we just had the first black president. And then he came along as a joke for himself to his own circle. You know what? I'll run for president.
And that's my only thing too with him is that all these other career politicians, like you say, they got money like him. Some of them close to it, but
Nancy Pelosi has money. Nancy Pelosi and her husband have money like Donald Trump.
Yeah, but that comes through their
fucking casino table with it.
That comes through their long business relations with inside trading and manipulating stocks and knowing different people like Trump.
And
This
deals from countries and
Yep.
Come speak on our behalf.
And Trump don't owe
Interest.
Trump don't owe nobody no favors and no money because that money come from his family. Like his daddy had the money and he's second generation rich. Like I don't owe nobody shit. I ain't in nobody's pocket. Nobody can't tell me what the fuck to do because I don't owe none of y'all niggas. This motherfucker said he wouldn't even take the salary if he ain't had to. And then on top of that, like with him, like you say, he just did this shit. Like this is what I be thinking. Like if I had all that fucking money, man, I can be on any tropical island, eating whatever delicious foods and drinking the most expensive drinks with the most beautifulest women. But instead, I'm sitting here in Washington trying to motherfucking tell the country all these motherfuckers is dirty. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker be living whatever life he want to live, but he really chose to like take this path as an old man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just like any other celeb, because he was a celeb before he was a president. Any other celeb decides to change their narrative or direction and what they want to go, well, people support, people critique, people step back. Oh, they're doing what? Now, if we can, and this is no PowerPoint to Kanye, but now if we can step back for a second and look, because when it first happened, it looked so crazy. Kanye going to meet Trump when Trump was in office, right? Not realizing, I didn't even take in, I was so caught up in it, I didn't even really realize, and here is a PowerPoint to Kanye, actually, on this one. I didn't realize his move in that, right? Because he did the thing with George Bush. George Bush doesn't like black people. He did Saturday Night Live or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did that, and then he did this. So it was, I didn't even put the two together. I was just like, oh man, this kid's being crazy. Whatever, I don't know what the fuck he's on. And he dyed his hair blonde, went up there to meet with the guy. Oh, we've been longtime friends. What'd you guys talk about? Conversation. Okay. And next thing you know, he's talking about he's going to run for president. That was definitely, that was the joke I did not want to see come to any fruition. But if we could play if for a moment, what would have happened if Kanye made the ballot and had won and been president now for the last 4 years? They would have tried to get him evicted for some shit. He'd have been the new Trump. They'd have been trying to get evicted because he'd have said what he done said.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Adidas in there. He'd have been seen the president is anti-Semitic. Oh my God, we would have went into war mode immediately. This whole Palestine, Israel situation would have been off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Libya, Iran, Iraq, and all the other Jewish communities, countries. That would have been something.
Yeah.
We probably would have already been in World War III.
I don't know. I would have, if Kanye was on the ballot,
See him perfecting it.
if Kanye was on the ballot, I would have voted for him just to see what would happen.
World War III. World War III.
Just to see.
Bro's not ready to control the fucking country. He can't keep his family in order.
Yeah.
And that's no pun.
No.
But I knew that when he got with homegirl, cause what? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's just a fact. A hoe gonna be a hoe, a hoe's gonna be a hoe. What'd she do? She fucked up on all these other dudes, get with him, fucked up on him with some comedian dude. Oh, man. But that was his decision, not just her. She was who she was
Before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we all knew. Ray J told us.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube told us. Right.
So he knew what he was getting into. But then, I mean, every dude who fuck with them, with that family of women, they get fucked up. The dad turned to a woman. The one dude OD'd at a strip club. Kanye going crazy. The other motherfucker got, I don't know. You know.
So you would still vote for him, though? You think that'd be a wise
Nah, I would do it just. Hey, everybody voted for Obama because he was black.
That's a big fucking.
Hey, everybody voted for Obama just because he was black. They ain't really know none of Obama politics. They ain't know nothing he was gonna do. They ain't know who the fuck this nigga was. They ain't know none of his history, none of his background, nothing.
He, different from Kanye. Kanye made a lot of noise. A lot of noise. We know him for making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Some of it's music. Obama, like you just said, we ain't know about it. We ain't know nothing. All we knew was that there were white men in the White House. All I knew is that my 11th grade history, social studies teacher told me is that he had the thing going around the room, state, your name and what you want to be to contribute towards the country. I went straight to presidency. He said, you need to lower your standards to things more attainable, and in my opinion, you'll never even see that in your lifetime. That was my 11th grade social studies teacher. He was like Ukrainian or Romanian or something. He wasn't from here. So, but that was his European perspective of the future of our country. So when Obama came to, I was all in. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure I wasn't the only.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we know more about Kanye than we know about Obama. So we'll still vote for a stranger over somebody who's like help us grow up a little bit. Because I was listening to Kanye in my teenage years, in my late teens and early 20s. I grew up with Kanye, but then some other dudes step in. You don't know this motherfucker from a can of paint. He just dressed nice. But you gonna vote for him because he black. Same thing. Like I said, I would have just gave Kanye my vote too. Like fuck it.
Sushi said that the father helped free OJ, so the family's been cursed.
Oh, I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick, guys.
There is cursing and all that, what have you. It's a real thing. I can see that. Being that OJ was the first black man to get away with killing a white woman and scot-free and boasted about it, if you will. That Obama came out of left field at I remember, at our country, as it's always been, really. But it was at a particular high racial tension point. There was about to be a race war here. And black man running for office in the White House. That shit stopped everybody like COVID. Also, we was shell-shocked here. The rest of the world was shell-shocked too. Oh shit, America has black men for president. Huh? Oh no, that it stopped time itself. Kanye, nah, that's a follow through. Obama's articulation with the words, the same shit we was always being casted out for. His claim, fame to it was through the nerd and just being so cool with it. We need change. It's time for the old stigmas and dogmas to die down and out. We need a new way. And we can only make that way, together. I remember, bro. Bro had it all down pat. It's just fucked up what he did and didn't do. You know what I mean? Passing the law that same-sex marriages can marry, I really didn't feel was one of the PowerPoints of something we needed to do as far as change. But that's just me. That is what it is. It was a fun political ride. I'm glad they didn't kill him, because that would have just pushed him, I'd have been the fodder for the racial war here.
No. If somebody would have took a shot at him, that's how you know he was really trying to change stuff. The same way everybody is taking all of these shots at motherfucking Trump. How Trump under the gun so fucking hard from every angle. That's how you know somebody trying to change something. Man, this dude got a... That was all true, though. That was all true.
Well, I don't know. He's got to be the best foreigner I've ever met that's embodied the English language and taken office. Good enough for me. It was all right. It was cool. It was all right.
But he ain't do nothing.
I expected more, but with America, hey, has anything changed? You expect a lot, you get what? Next to nothing, and a little bit less than less.
But once again, no matter what kind of scrutiny he was under or what kind of political shots they took at him, he still did 8 years. He still did 8 years because he was playing the game right. He was doing what his controllers told him to do, and he read the teleprompter.
Do everything they want to do, like we think, like that's just the commander in chief, and what he or she or they say goes.
No.
There's a chain of command.
Exactly.
Chain of approval on that command.
Exactly. And he played the game right, and that's why he was able to do 8 years. Because he listened to the chain of command. He did everything that all his controllers told him to do. Trump, that's why Trump couldn't get 8 years. In his first 4 years, he already figured out, like, whoa. Y'all motherfuckers trying to lead me the wrong way. Y'all giving me bad advice. And as soon as he seen that, he was like, no, I'm going to try to do shit different. And once he really tried to do shit differently, there's like, look, nigga, we don't need you back in here. Even his own party turned against him. His own vice president turned against him. Everybody turned against him and didn't want him to do 8 years because they felt like he probably could have really changed some shit in 8 years. Anybody who get kicked out like that, bro, it was something. It's too much to it. And now they trying they damnedest not to let him back in there.
The fact that they never even took an assassination. Now they took assassination to his character, but actual assassination attempt was never made on Obama. Had there ever been one, we can forget all the deep stuff of who he was for or not. We wouldn't be here today, I don't think.
I kind of think too that Obama was like, this is my thing about Obama.
If Obama would have gotten assassinated, how much would that have changed the landscape to which we live in?
I don't think it would have changed that much. But what I think Obama was a way to shut black people up. Because like your high school teacher told you, this should have never happened. Not in your lifetime. You'll never see it. You know what? And so they said right after Bush was in office, now the country was in uproar because 9/11 had just happened. We got all our troops over there in this big ass fucking war. A lot of people are on the internet starting to Google all kind of shit and figure out the deep state for themselves and trying to figure out who the Bushes are in collusion with and figure out all these different connections and family. Yo, and people was trying to figure shit out. So what they needed was somebody to calm the fucking country down, calm everything down, and give everybody some hope and change and quiet all the fucking hysteria. That's what Obama was. Obama was the perfect candidate to keep everybody calm and to say, hey, look, things are good. We are changing. We are moving in the right direction. And he didn't accomplish anything at all. And on top of that, it was a way for them to say, look, you've had a black president. No. But then at the same time, it's like, look, you already had a black president. Don't ask us for nothing else ever again. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask us for reparations. Don't ask us to change no new laws. Y'all had a black president. Y'all didn't get anything accomplished when he was in the house. So don't ask us for shit ever again. And now I think they're going to try to make a woman president.
Can't say that. Now, let's not just rush off that quick, shall we? Because how many, was it 45 other presidents, and they all white. So, they all didn't follow the same code as the last and the previous, and they all had different forms, and all are the reasons why we are where we are now as far as the system goes and what have you of America and its relations with others. Stumble we may, fall we shall, get the hell up we will too. So, shit, it's his wife right now. They claim her for they say she was a transvestite before she was on. I don't believe that. I believe that's character assassination. And I think maybe she would. Hey, whatever.
Yeah. But then that's the thing that I see too. So we've had a black president, so they're going to say, y'all don't need that for another 100, 200 years. Don't ask us for shit else. We already gave you that. And now they're going to find a way to get a woman in office. And then once they get a woman in office and she do a term or whatever, and then they'll say, okay, don't ever ask us for that shit again. We gave you a black president. We gave you a woman president. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think they might want to make it a.
He's heard it all. I know he's heard it, and I'm glad he's still alive and home. Like, we need to do more, but we haven't invented the time machine, so therefore we can only move forward.
Yeah, but then they just help produce a movie about the destruction of America. Yeah, but how did you wrap a bicycle? Does it look like a bike? Does it look like a bicycle that's wrapped, or?
Yeah, but to a 5-year-old kid, probably not right off the bat. I had to drop on it.
Hey, he not lying. It's a bicycle. Damn. That's wild, bro. Man, I had to wrap a bike this morning. Well, you did a hell of a job. Yo, beginning to ends, what's good, man? You did a hell of a job wrapping the bike. I don't think I could have did that shit. I would have been poking so many damn holes in the wrapping paper.
So the sequel, I just want to have arms length. Like the arm width, from arm to arm.
Mm-hmm.
I put that over the top. And then I rolled out the same amount of width with it on the floor and put the bike on top of armor. And then connected the two. Like I was just wrapping whatever form it would take.
Oh.
And then just secure point. Doing, all right, got this one. That looks nice. All right, do the same thing on the other side. If the bike burns between my safe and something else, just held it up and moved that stuff. Right?
Yeah, little man gonna be excited when you open that up. Has he had a bike before?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's something he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And needed. Like I said, hopefully, I'm going to give him what you want and need. We go around their interests and that stuff. We see them enjoying doing that. Okay. Get them this, get them that, get them stuff. Just, on birthdays, you could probably drop a line about what you want. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas now, that's all. And then do Santa, you have something food, have something good food. That's what you need to know. I mean, they write a letter from North Korea and all that. Really want to go back to old school. You know? America 20 years ago, man. This time the post office used to be stacked with letters to the North Pole. That's the name.
Yo, sell it, Mark. What's up?
Just sitting in the back of the post office. Not necessarily really going anywhere. They don't get return to sender almost. Yeah, that's cool. And is that a 3D generated photo?
Yeah, the AI John.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said you were going to do that.
Yep. So this the.
About 6 months back. I was like, what was that? Some of those there. Man, gonna head up with the AI.
Oh yeah. As soon as I seen it, I was like, yo, that's a tool right there. I'm gonna have to use that tool.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the glass.
Mm-hmm. Everything, every little piece of technology, man, figure out a way to utilize that shit, man. It's just tools. So now.
Lucky I didn't get too techy with it. Did I tell you about the Luma?
The what now? No, I don't think you're talking about that. The Lumo or Luma?
Yeah, it's a personal AI. It's a personal robot AI.
Oh damn.
Self-download. shows you around.
Oh, hell no. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Hey, man, plugged in. I used to on the Lawnmower Man. That movie, remember the Lawnmower Man?
Mm-hmm.
Virtual reality and all that?
Mm-hmm.
It was that Job. Job, you've taken too much. Hey, you man, did I have surpassed you, doctor?
Yeah, they've been predicting this stuff forever, bro. Like, I don't. It's weird that we have all of this stuff now. Because they said it was just in the movie. It was just science fiction. But now,
That movie is now, it's not even 40 years old.
mm-mm.
That movie is 30-something years old.
And just in 30 years, they made that shit reality.
Got another one for you. War Games.
War games. War
War
games.
Games is a whole thing now. Remember War Games?
It sounds familiar. I can't. No, I don't. I can't recall it right offhand though. War games. What was that about?
Was good at playing a video game, but he didn't know that the game was
Oh.
part of a government experiment.
Oh.
Like they let the supercomputer play with, the common people. People didn't know, but then the kid figured it out. Next thing you know, he built a relation with it. Then there was a war, and he decided to tell for the news. It was just a game, but it was real because the AI.
I do remember that, yo. I remember that, yo. But that's all we've been doing is just.
I get too smart.
Mm,
And go that shit.
there was another a book that I read, but they made it into a movie called Ender's Game. And that's like the same premise where these kids are playing video games thinking it's just a game, but they're really piloting like real fighter spaceships killing other people, yo. And the whole time they think, oh, I'm just playing the game, I'm getting a lot of kills and shit. And it's like, nah, y'all really at war right now. That shit was crazy.
And the third, which could have been the first, my favorite, Terminator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look, Elon Musk just asked all the lead designers and engineers to stop moving forward with AI, right? Nobody listened. And by the way, something upwards of 200 different companies are working with AI, and you couldn't tell me, I wouldn't hear from them that there's one with Terminator quality completely. I've seen it. The targeting system alone that we have on our missile surface-to-air defense are now in humanoid, well, not humanoid, but yeah, just because they have the shape, bipedal robots that can do way more than they do and never get tired.
Mm-hmm. And I sent you the reel about the with the fucking gun on the remote control car or whatever that shit was.
Yeah,
I sent you the reel of the it's like a big ass remote control car, but it got a fucking torrent gun on that shit, yo.
I ain't seen that one.
Oh, bro, that shit.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Bro, that shit zip around and driving up and down stairs, and that shit like moving, bro. That shit ain't slow. That shit got some speed on it, in these big ass off road tires. I was like, what the fuck?
It's Christmas time here, folks, and that is time for me to do.
Yes, sir.
Been up all night waiting to see the fan and them. Just got the word. So, enjoy the day, stay safe, stay smart, stay up, always clever. What, 8 days left to 2023?
Hey, man.
The rest of it. Enjoy the rest of it.
You already know, bro. Enjoy your day, man.
Okay.
Peace, fam.
Peace.
My real good brother right there. A fucking blunt mover. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Very smart guy, yo. And he my old head, yo. He don't look it, but he an old head. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, if you ever see him, like nobody would never imagine how old my man is, yo. But real cool dude, yo. But that's why I brought up that whole Trump thing too, cause he lives in Colorado, and so it's like I just asked him how he felt about that shit. I don't know, man. Most people don't care. It's like my whole thing is like, why are they trying so hard? Motherfuckers act like this dude is the Antichrist or something. Y'all trying too hard to make him into the boogeyman, and that just makes me feel like now I want to listen to him more. You know? Why y'all trying so hard to discredit this one person and push him out and push him to the side? Don't seem right. Something to it. That's just like when like I say, when they took Alex Jones off the internet, I was like, whoa. And so that was the first big one. I was like, this is kind of scary. Like, what the fuck are y'all guys doing? Why did you try to silence Alex Jones? And then when they silenced Trump and he was still the president, I'm like, yo, this shit getting crazy. For real. Do people not see this? And once again, I don't care if you hate these motherfuckers. How if you just absolutely can't stand their existence, they still have the right to exist and say what they want to say. But now, like, just in my lifetime, and then my understanding of other like hiccups in situations with presidents, like they ain't never treat nobody like they trying to do Trump, yo. This shit crazy. Like, why y'all trying so fucking hard, yo? Like, what is this? What is the true like motivation for this joint? Again, which I can't figure that out. You know what? I really think I messed these up a little bit too. I don't know why I painted it solid right there. Uh-oh. I think I just heard my is that my smoke detector? I'm gonna have to change the battery in the smoke detector. Sound like it. looks a little better that way, like that. I guess. Once again, we're adding the
Swedish meatballs looking a little melanated. Under review.
My name is Van, and I make egg roll.
We can work with that. Bring the soy sauce and adult sauce to my office.
My name's Casey. I made homemade bread.
We got a jokester in the office. Good choice.
My name's Michelle, and I brought mashed potatoes.
Now, why did you bring your good pot to work? Somebody taking that home.
Good morning. My name's Tony, and I brought vegetables and macaroni salad.
Good job, Tony. Keep up the good work.
My name's Sheree, and I brought broccoli, cheese, and rice casserole.
And you about to be out the door. Call security.
Hi, my name is Rob, and I brought some duck.
We can work with that. We can work with that.
Hi, my name's Kyle. I brought macaroni salad, cream corn, regular corn, and gravy.
Kyle, I need your letter of resignation on my desk in the morning. Thanks.
My name's Eric. Today, we're bringing wings.
Eric, you selfish bastard. Where's the other tray? All these people in here, who finna eat that? He must have ate the other one in the car.
I'm Linda. I brought a chocolate pie and tea.
Up for termination. Because don't nobody want no fucking Duke and rain.
My name is Christine, and I made chocolate chip cookies.
Under review. Because don't her cats be on the counter?
My name is Yesenia, and I brought a fruit tray.
Very good job. Keep up the good work.
Hi, I'm Thomas, and I brought coffee mate and lunch.
Very good job. Up for promotion. Because he knew he didn't put in, so he ain't finna dig in. He came prepared. Very good job. Next.
Hi, I'm Josh from Real House. I brought a brisket.
Now see, we were prepared to work with you, but now your ass suspended. Because you just had to put your fucking funky fingers on the goddamn food.
My name is Louis, and I brought some mashed potatoes.
We can work with that. They look cold, but we got a microwave. We can work with that.
I'm John Whitfield, and I brought tri-tip.
Fired. Because I'll be damned. How you gonna come in here with your finger all cut up like that while you in here slicing the meat on our behalf? With your pissy fingers. Get this out of here.
Happy Thanksgiving for Mr. Sparky and Just Fix It. I brought the wieners.
Get HR on the phone, because something about this is inappropriate.
My name's Kimmy, and I brought pumpkin bread.
And they definitely weren't built by the Egyptians. But look at all this evidence that points towards how old they are, but they don't really answer that question, like what their utility would have been. You look at the interior architecture of them and how strange the chambers are. It's very odd. And so one of the most common explanations is that they may have been like a water pump, that there could have been water pumping in and out of them to help cultivate agriculture. Here's a really interesting thing.
Let's talk about the pyramids.
Okay.
You know this was coming.
Yeah.
So, what fascinates me about this stuff, it seems like everyone's fascinated by the pyramids, and who wouldn't be, but, you know, it gets into all different theories as to how they could have been built, and who did it, and when they did it, and, you know, there's a lot of challenged academic definitions of it, I guess, that they say, oh, they've said for years, oh, this is exactly how it happened, whatever, and people are starting to find evidence that's like, no way. But you come from the camp of the pyramids were created by the Egyptians.
Yeah, I think that's where I differ from. So,
okay, can you explain this and
so,
when you think they were created and how and all that?
Yeah, so in the world, the community, I guess, online community that I'm in, I think a lot of people share the idea that the Egyptian pyramids were built by an ancient civilization that existed sometime during the end of the last ice age, towards the end of the Younger Dryas, somewhere around 10,500 BC is what is estimated. Now that date comes from the 10,500 BC date comes from when people look at the Sphinx that is sitting in front of the middle pyramid on the Giza Plateau. So that's Khafre's pyramid. The Sphinx is thought to have been originally a lion, whose head was recarved to be like a pharaoh later on. But the insane amount of erosion that is so unambiguously water erosion that's in the Sphinx pit makes people think, oh, okay, this is up to 10,000 to 30,000 years of consistent water erosion. Then you go back, all the stars can be easily calculated. It's all mathematical. So nowadays we have programs that you can go back 1 million years ago and see what the constellations would have been like on Earth, right? So and it's very accurate. Yeah, I think
But how do we measure its accuracy if we can't?
Oh god, I don't know. I really don't know that. I mean, that's astronomers.
All right, that's okay.
That. But
sorry.
I
can ask.
But just going back 10,000 years isn't too hard to look at constellations, and so around 10,500 BC, the Sphinx, if it was originally a lion, would have been looking directly at the constellation of Leo in the night sky. And so that's kind of one of the places that's kind of one of the pieces of, I guess, scant evidence that people look to it being 10,500 years ago. That I would say the erosion in the Sphinx pit is probably like the strongest geological evidence that we have of an Egyptian site going back that far. But then people put the pyramids in there, and basically the construction of the pyramids is so inexplicable and so complicated, and there's so many little details encoded into it. Like I believe the circumference of the Earth is encoded into the Great Pyramid.
Yeah,
and
it's also I'm going to get that wrong. Continue. Sorry.
But there's so many anomalies about the Great Pyramids, and people look at its construction and they think there's no way that the ancient Egyptians could have done that, because you look at the Great Pyramids on the Giza Plateau. Most people look at the Great Pyramids on the Giza Plateau and they think, it completely dwarfs most other things that you find in Egypt. But that's kind of on the surface it does. And most people don't realize that there's a fourth Great Pyramid. There's a whole other story. There's also the Bent Pyramid, the Pyramid of Maidum, and the Saqqara Pyramid. So these are kind of like the main 7 Great Pyramids. And one of the things that's kind of anomalous about Egypt is that all of this is said to traditional Egyptology to have happened during the time of the Old Kingdom. So you have pre-dynastic Egypt, you have the Old Kingdom collapses, you have an intermediate pyramid, like a terminal pyramid, or terminal period, then you have the Middle Kingdom, another terminal period, and then you have the New Kingdom, and then you get into like Greek rule over Egypt. And so, but main Egypt is from pre-dynastic to the New Kingdom. And it's about 25 to 2,600 years long, roughly, until you get to about 1,000 BC. And so that's like your that's your prolific understanding of Egypt, are those little timelines. So what's really interesting is some of the most grandiose architectural feats and the best stone masonry that you see in ancient Egypt happens during the time of the Old Kingdom. Everything after the Old Kingdom is dwarfed by the Old Kingdom, basically. So people look at it and we're like, well, how did the Egyptians start at the very beginning of their civilization creating their best stonework, and then it just quickly descends after that?
Right. Hey guys, in the month of November, we actually increased our numbers and had 45% of you watching who are subscribed to the channel, which means more people were hitting the button, which helps us a great deal. So thank you to everyone who did that. And let's try to improve that number in November by hitting that subscribe button right now. It takes 2 seconds. It's the best thing we can get, so thank you for all your help. And if you're not subscribed, please make sure you do it.
YouTube is the new home of NFL Sunday Ticket. Watch all your favorite NFL teams' out-of-market Sunday afternoon games all season long. Now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Sign up now. Terms and embargoes apply.
Do you believe the Bible? And I mean really believe it.
No.
Here in Israel,
Parts of
And
it.
so people look at a lot of these mysteries, and then people somewhat logically can conclude, well, yeah, man, the Egyptians must have not built this. This must be an older culture. And then you look at the Sphinx, you look at the erosional marks of the Sphinx that had to be from water erosion. But when's the last time that rainfall was coming in? That rainfall of this magnitude was happening in Egypt about 10,000 years ago during the end of the Ice Age. About 10,500 BC. Then that also aligns with when you look at the constellations, the Sphinx would have been looking at the constellation of Leo. So you have a lion looking. All these things kind of line up. Here's the problem, though. And not a lot of people know about this, because this is kind of one of those things that you get so deep into studying Egypt. So as an anthropologist, I have an interest not only in these ancient mysteries, like a layman person would, where I just like these ancient mysteries. I just want to watch YouTube videos about ancient mysteries. I have like a deep fascination for the study of all of ancient Egypt as a whole. So I study even what Orthodox Egyptologists say about the area. And I've been studying, I was studying the Old Kingdom, and I came across a study. It was like a lecture series, but it also had all the sources put into it and photographs. And I learned something I'd never learned before. So I'll lead into what I'm about to tell you. So in around 2650 BC, there was a king. Egypt was on its rise. This is 2650 BC.
This is before Moses allegedly was.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that was
yeah,
like
yeah.
1900
This is
BC
about-
or something, right?
Moses was about 14 or 1300 BC.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Abraham was 1900 BC.
I think so. Could
Okay.
be. Yeah.
All right.
But Abraham wasn't in Egypt, I don't think. I think
No.
yeah.
I'm just putting
So,
the full timeline.
Yeah. I love like laying out the timelines people understand. So this is 2650 BC. This is remote history, way back in the day.
It's
And
hard to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, there's something weird about once you switch over from BC to AD, it gets easier to think about.
oh yeah.
And it's still like you could be talking about something 1,500 years ago. It might as well be 10,000 years ago. But like when you start getting like past AD into BC, it's like I don't know if it's like the fact that it's like minus years in a way. Maybe that does it, but it's strange concept.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
That's a side
I've had to get used to it,
Yeah.
because it's like an opposite. You like flip the way the dates work. But so anyways, around 2650 BC, Egypt is on a rise, but it's also not doing very well at this time, and it's under the Pharaoh Djoser, and so Imhotep, his great architect, who's like the first recorded genius, first physician, ancient architect of the entire world. He's like the very first Plato, very first Aristotle. I mean, all of this, he's like the godfather of all of these great minds. And he gets this idea. So this is kind of where the Orthodox view of how the pyramids work. And then I'll show you what I think might be the nail in the coffin, unless I see somebody propose a counter argument to me that I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense, then I will concede. It's that easy for me. I'm not gonna.
Good for you. That's a good way to be, man. I mean, you're constantly in anything these days. You're constantly finding new things, and people. I appreciate people who are willing to change their opinion.
Yeah. So what Egyptologists look at is around from 3000 BC until 2600 BC when they start building pyramids. Egyptian pharaohs start building tombs that are like depressed tombs that are under the ground. Then they start like building it on top of the ground where they rest the pharaoh on the ground, and they build like a little tomb above him where he's not underground anymore. And then they start building what's called mastabas, which is like a giant stone Twinkie basically. And somewhere in there it's like a raised tomb that he's laying in, but it's kind of like a building, and in some mastabas you could walk in, but it was like a raised tomb. So he's raised maybe as high as this desk. So say he's laid on a desk, and then they build up a stone structure around him, and they just lay him on that. And then sometimes it would be square, sometimes rectangular. And then Imhotep gets this idea that he's like, okay, how will we build multiple mastabas on top of each other until it's like a big structure. And so you can clearly see there aren't even people in the like skeptic realm that say that the pyramids were built by an ancient lost Atlantean civilization. There's nobody that argues that the pyramid of Saqqara, the one I'm talking about that Imhotep built, nobody argues that one was built by it. That's the step pyramid. Have you ever seen that before?
I have.
These are built with blocks that are probably maybe a little bit bigger than the size of a cinder block, but like one man could kind of easily carry this block. Yeah, so that's the step pyramid of Saqqara. So
I'll put that image in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, there isn't.
You want this one right here?
Yeah.
Or this one?
Yeah, that one's fine too.
Right, cool.
So there isn't anybody that argues that an ancient lost civilization that wasn't the Egyptians built this. Okay.
How big is this approximately?
Freaking massive. I don't know the exact dimensions.
And what is it built out of?
I mean, you can see it in one of these pictures that's sitting in front of the mortuary temples. It's white limestone, so pretty heavy blocks, but it's not like granite.
All right, maybe here's a better question. How big is this in relation to the Pyramid of Giza?
Oh gosh,
maybe
half the height. Yeah.
Okay, so it's very big.
Yeah. It's very big. It's very big. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget I'm trying to remember this offhand. What is the building equivalent of the Pyramid of Giza compared to like skyscraper? Hold on.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
That's fun to look at. I can't remember what that was. Okay, here we go. So I'll put this in the corner of the screen.
Oh wow.
Here's the Pyramid of Giza, Eiffel Tower, Empire State Building. I can't read what that is this far away. There's the Trade Center.
You could even look up.
Burj Khalifa.
Ancient pyramids size graphs, and that's a very popular one where it has all of the biggest pyramids in the world kind of like overlaid on top of one another, and you can see how big they are compared to each other. And you'll see the Saqqara pyramid on there. Yeah.
Let's look at this in the corner of the screen. Which one? Right here?
Yeah, that one should be fine. It's kind of tough to be able to see.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to really lean into the screen to read this.
The Saqqara pyramid is in there. It's the one that's about half the height of the Egyptian pyramid.
Yeah. What's the top one there?
Oh, I think that's the tower, like in Dubai or whatever.
Oh, so this also compares it to the buildings too. Got it. That's the Burj
Khalifa.
Khalifa.
Or at least that one building.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's tough to read.
And then that tallest pyramid, that is the Pyramid of Khufu. And then the one that falls somewhere in the middle.
Where's the Pyramid of Khufu?
That's the Great Pyramid. Yes, yeah. So you have three Great Pyramids that are on the Giza Plateau. The biggest one is Khufu's pyramid. Second biggest one is Khafre's pyramid, which is his son, and then Khufu's grandson, or maybe his great grandson. We don't exactly know. His name was Menkaure. His pyramid is probably 40% the size of Khufu's pyramid.
You were saying there was another one. I cut you off there.
Sorry. Yeah. But there are pyramids that come before that. So that's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So there's nobody, even in the skeptic community, that thinks that step pyramid, the one I'm showing you, that's not a perfect pyramid. Nobody thinks that was built by an ancient lost Atlantean civilization. Everybody agrees that was created out of the evolution of taking mastabas and stacking them on top of each other. Okay, we also know.
You were the first in your family to go to college, but why stop there? With a graduate degree from Walden, you could make a real difference. They're counting on you. So what are you waiting for? It's time.
Have you met them yet?
Met who? There are ghost children possessing giant robots? Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late. Mr. President, did you ever find the letter opener?
I did not. I also managed to lose track of Henry's doll. We heard something of the roof.
His name is Armus. He did not come to give, but to take.
Who the pyramid, or who the pharaoh buried in that pyramid was. His name was Djoser, because we have ancient Egyptian like hieroglyphic funerary texts that show him performing like divine miracles and visiting sanctuaries in the afterlife. He also has a mortuary temple in his necropolis that speaks of the things that he did in his life, and it's like elaborately decorated. And inside of his pyramid, in the labyrinths of hallways, they decorated them with these like these blue, what are they called? Oh, turquoise. Do you remember in The Mummy the scarab beetles that like they were pulling off the wall? Yeah, remember how they would pull them off the wall and then they would come to life?
Yes.
Well, that's basically what this is. It was decorated from floor to ceiling in these turquoise scarab shells, but they were fake. They're made out of like turquoise stone, and so it's very elaborate and it's not ambiguous at all who this pyramid was intended for. Now, what happens after that is the exact same architectural techniques are used at a place called Maidum under a different pharaoh. This pharaoh's name is Senefru. So Djoser dies. He's buried underneath the pyramid of Saqqara that you just showed, the step pyramid. Another pharaoh comes in, Senefru. He tries to build basically the exact same type of pyramid, but he doesn't use the right type of limestone, and it all like collapses. And so the inner part that's made out of, I guess it's some kind of different, more sturdy type of limestone, is still there today, and it's still sitting, but the outer parts of the limestone almost turned like powder when you look at it today. It just looks like it like fell down in the sides. So something about it was unstable, and the interior of it was never designed, and you know, it was never used. The only reason that we know that it was intended for Senefru, which this could be easily argued against, was there was a priest like hundreds of years later who came from I think Memphis or Hierakonpolis, and he has giant graffiti that he paints onto one of the mortuary temples around the pyramid of Maidum, and he says, "My name is such and such. I visited the Maidum pyramid of Senefru at this date. The sun was shining on it." It's graffiti. How people say like, how you can mark on something, say Julian was here 2023.
That's a real human. Wow.
Yeah. So some priest graffitied on it, and said, you know, that he was there. And then the same thing happened at the next site, which is, have you ever heard of the Bent Pyramid before?
Refresh me.
So the Bent Pyramid, it's basically just a pyramid that looks like a normal pyramid, but at the top, the angle is slightly more shallow. It's slightly more flat, and the sides are very vertical. And so when architects go in and they look at this today, they look at the inner chambers, because it has a whole interior as well. They look at the inner chambers and they're able to deduce, okay, they were going to build this thing way too tall. The chambers on the inside are way too big, way too open. The ceiling is going to collapse in on this, so they made the roof more shallow. Because think about how many more stones you have to use to build a pyramid that's shaped like this rather than one like this. They didn't go flat enough, so the inside of the pyramid was going to collapse, and so they flattened the top of it. Now, to most people, that's about as far as the explanation goes. They just flatten the top of it, and they move on to the next pyramid, which is called. But remember that. That's as far as the explanation goes. And so most people who are looking at for evidence of an ancient lost civilization being in the pyramids, that's as far as it goes. Everybody agrees that's why the Bent Pyramid is the way it is. It wasn't designed to be It wasn't intended to be bent. They just made it more flat to make it where the inner chambers wouldn't fall in. Okay, then we go on to what's called the Red Pyramid. So we're still not at the Great Pyramids yet. We're 4 pyramids deep, and we're still not at the Great Pyramids. So then Seneferu goes, and he builds the Red Pyramid, which is made out of this, like, slightly more red limestone, so that when the sun rises in the morning, it shines off the limestone, and it's a giant red pyramid. Well, this time, they fill in, like, how the step pyramid had all the little steps. This pharaoh was trying, and you can see it through the evolution of the Maidum pyramid, the bent pyramid, where he gets the sides perfectly sloped. Like, he doesn't want the steps anymore. He wants it smooth all the way down. By the time you get to the Red Pyramid, there's some casing stones, and it's perfect all the way down. They built it. He built it perfectly, okay? That is the first Great Pyramid. And then Khufu is born. And Khufu was Seneferu's son, okay?
What year are we in now?
We're now in about 2550 BC. So this is 100 years later.
And this is when... I forget the guy's name. What was the pharaoh's name you said?
Well, you have Djoser, Seneferu, Khufu.
Yeah.
And then Khafre. Were you talking about Imhotep?
No, not Imhotep. I think it was the first one you said. So we're, 2 generations after that now?
Yeah. So you have Djoser, and then I don't know.
Djoser.
I think maybe Djoser's son was Seneferu. But they don't have 100% proof of their connection. But it's probably Djoser. His son is Seneferu. His son is Khufu. So Djoser builds 1 pyramid. Seneferu builds 3 to perfect his final one. The red. So it's the Maidum pyramid, the the Maidum pyramid, the bent pyramid, and then the Red Pyramid, which is the first Great Pyramid. So the 3 ones that we see iconically, there's one that came before that, according to modern Egyptologists. Okay. However, in all 3 of Seneferu's pyramids, he did not inscribe his name anywhere inside of the pyramids or in the temples around them in the same way that his father Djoser would have, with his mortuary hieroglyphs that show exactly who he is. That doesn't happen at any of the 3 of Seneferu's sites. Okay, then I'm gonna like lead up to the big like mystery here.
Yeah, this is amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
like, this is way more detail than I thought you were gonna give on this.
And and so then Seneferu's son Khufu builds his Great Pyramid. He builds his significantly larger than the Maidum, bent, or Red Pyramid, but it's almost the same design as the Red Pyramid, almost exactly the same design, except I believe he includes a chamber for his wife in there. So you have the king's chamber, you have the queen's chamber, you have the grand gallery, which is like this giant slanted chamber in the middle, and then he had little temples around the pyramid, but nowhere in the pyramid did he ever inscribe his name in the way that his grandfather did. So then Khufu's son is born, Khafre. Khafre builds his own Great Pyramid, and he makes it 10 meters shorter than his father's out of respect, and he builds his own Sphinx temple in front of his pyramid, and then supposedly builds the Sphinx as well. This is probably the greatest project of all of ancient Egypt. I mean, you look at the blocks that are in the Sphinx temple, they're massive blocks, sometimes the size of this table, solid limestone blocks. Kind of pushing up close to what we see in Inca architecture as far as the size of the stones being used in just temples. Okay?
And the weight of that is insane.
Oh, the weight of it is unbelievable, and we don't have any evidence of how they did it.
Last week, one of my buddies got assigned a 6-month rotation in Europe with his company coming up in 2024. So we're talking about it, the lifestyle changes, everything that's going to happen. And I said, "What's your plan with Netflix, pal?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, Netflix US, a lot of the content, if you are not in the US, you cannot access it. What are you going to do about that?" And of course, I took this moment to tell him about my friends at NordVPN.
Corey, which is 5...
Get NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. Watch every out-of-market Sunday afternoon NFL game live. Now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Terms and embargoes apply.
miles away, south on the Nile River, but it's actually in Upper Egypt. So northern Egypt is Lower Egypt, southern Egypt is Upper Egypt. because the Nile runs from south to north. Yeah. Anyways, how they move those blocks has never been explained. You know, they say, oh well, they balance these 80-ton granite stones on these little river rafts. And now the Egyptians, they didn't like the Mediterranean Sea. They're right there next to the Mediterranean. They didn't really sail out into the Mediterranean and use naval warfare to conquer other people. They were not seafarers at all. They had riverboats. There's no evidence of giant Egyptian ships sailing across the Mediterranean until the Greeks arrive. The Egyptians didn't want anything to do with the Mediterranean. They actually had a word for it that was like a disparaging word. They didn't want to go out into the sea. So they had these little riverboats that aren't very nice. Like you look at Khufu's boat, that's apparently built into his mortuary temple, and it's not that nice of a boat. So you try to, like, you could look up like Khufu's boat. You should actually look it up because I want you to see this. Yeah, Khufu's boat. You'll see this super primitive boat, and then try to imagine a rose granite beam weighing 80 tons not sinking this boat.
Is this it?
Yeah. So the greatest pharaoh of all of Egypt.
I'll put this in the corner of the screen.
Yeah. So the greatest pharaoh of all of Egypt. This is supposedly his mortuary boat, which is a giant boat as far as how long it is. It's not that wide, but it's not that far removed from what the Egyptians would have used to move these blocks. So you're talking about trying to put a rose granite block that weighs 80 tons. And I mean...
And how many blocks approximately are going into a pyramid like that?
Okay, so on Menkare's pyramid, all of the casing stones across the entire outside of the block are all rose granite. I believe they're rose granite. All of the inner chambers that I believe the Red Pyramid, which is Seneferu's Red Pyramid, Khufu's Pyramid, and Khafre's Pyramid, the inner chambers are also, at least the king's chambers, are also made out of rose granite that weigh anywhere between 20 and 80 tons apiece. And what's really interesting is that in the king's chamber, which is the Great Pyramid, that's Khufu's pyramid, in the king's chamber, it has a 5-layered ceiling. It has relieving chambers. And each of the blocks in those relieving chambers are estimated to weigh about 80 tons apiece. So imagine you're building something, you're taking these blocks, you're not using these 80-ton red granite blocks as the foundation of your project. You're putting them in the ceiling of a chamber that's up into the middle of the pyramid. So you're raising it up, and they use the heaviest blocks as the ceiling of their chamber. Okay? But a pharaoh does all of this, and he doesn't carve his name anywhere inside of it. He does way more than his father did, Khufu, who built the Great Pyramid. He does. I say way more, but he builds a pyramid that's much more impressive than any of his father's pyramids. But he doesn't put his name anywhere. The same way his father didn't put his name anywhere in any of those 3 pyramids. And then Khufu doesn't put his name anywhere in his pyramid. And then Menkare doesn't put his name anywhere in his pyramid. So this is a huge mystery.
Is it possible, this might be a really dumb question, but is it possible that they did at some point and it was removed?
Oh, no, because if they were going to, they would have put it, no, it's not possible. Because it would have been carved into the walls, and there's no evidence that like the walls have been carved away to hide something that would have been carved in there. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. So I looked at all of that, and then I thought, wow. So the Saqqara pyramid that's built out of blocks that are pretty modest in size, that a strong man could pick up each block and lay them down. The Saqqara step pyramid, the first one we talked about, definitely built by the Egyptians. Definitely could have been. Everybody agrees on that. Then you get to the Pyramid of Maidum. It's like a collapsed pyramid. People aren't really sure about that one. Then you get to the Bent Pyramid that has giant stones. And it also has granite inside of the pyramid as well. You look at all of that, and you're like, whoa, that's a huge step up from the Saqqara step pyramid. How did they do that? There's no explanation for that. And there's also no mortuary temples that say what pharaoh built this pyramid, like the step pyramid does. Doesn't happen in the Bent Pyramid, doesn't happen in the Red Pyramid, doesn't happen in the Great Pyramid, doesn't happen in Khufu's pyramid, doesn't happen in Menkare's pyramid. There's nobody signing their name. You would think a pharaoh would sign their name and say who built it. So then that leads, 20-year-old me, and I'm thinking, yeah, this could be like an ancient lost civilization that existed 12,000 years ago that built this. I see all these other things that line up that.
So now you're going off your timeline.
Yeah. So me, when I'm first really diving into this, I'm like, yeah, okay, I see this being, a civilization that existed 12,000 years ago. Göbekli Tepe was just discovered. That's 9,500 BC or something like that. The Sphinx. I mean, there are geologists that are saying, yeah, this is at least 10,000 years, at least 7,000 to 10,000 years of water erosion weathering this out. Oh, if the Sphinx was a lion and it was facing the constellation of Leo, well, then that kind of lines up there as well. And there's all these things that line up. But then I get super deep into studying Egyptology, and I learned that the bent pyramid is a really big wrench in that argument. Because inside the bent pyramid, where I said that's what people mostly agree on. Oh, the roof was going to collapse in, so they made it more shallow. Well, the roof was going to collapse in, and they took. If you go into the bent pyramid, which nobody's allowed in there, other than like special access, but even then, maybe not anymore, because that thing is about to fall in. There is a archaeologist, Egyptologist named Bob Breyer, Bob Breyer, who is one of the best professors that's ever lived, especially in Egyptology. He's I don't know if you're familiar with Zahi Hawass, but he's like super corrupt.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah, Bob Breyer's nothing like this guy.
I went on a little rant about Zahi.
Did you?
In episode 1 with Matt. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah. I think I remember that. So, anyways, Bob Breyer is nothing like Zahi Hawass. But Bob went into the bent pyramid and took like more photos inside the bent pyramid than have ever been taken before. And I think some people have gone, like Ben from Uncharted X. Are you familiar with him?
Very familiar with Ben.
I think Ben
did a great episode
there.
with Danny.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
more
seeing that.
Yeah.
I think Ben has been in there, and I'd be interested in talking to guys like this. But here's the big problem that I see with all of this. When you go into the bent pyramid, when you climb up through the 55-foot chamber that's in the middle of the bent pyramid that's causing it to be unstable because there's such a big cavity inside the bent pyramid that all that pressure is coming down on it. What happened when you go down there and look at it, and what Bob Breyer saw, and there are photos of it, there are dozens and dozens of cedar wooden beams that are built into the chamber, built into the rocks. Like they were built at the exact same time. Like as the rocks were being placed, these cedars were being put in there. And these are cedars of Lebanon. Have you ever heard that term before? It's something that's referred to a lot in the Bible because it's like the strongest tree in the world. It's some of the strongest bark in the world. It's strong enough that it can cause the ceiling of this pyramid to not fall in. They go and date those trees. They date back about 4,500 years into ancient Lebanon. So what it looks like is that while they were building it, they knew this ceiling was going to fall in, and so Senefru sends an expedition out because he knew of these giant trees that were super strong that could kind of bend a little bit that are out in Lebanon. He sends an expedition out there, and this is kind of one of the few times where we see evidence. And in Lebanon, there's also evidence that cedars of Lebanon were sold to Egypt. It's not just on this case. It's in many, many cases. They were ordering cedars of Lebanon to be sent over. And so they took these cedars of Lebanon and they built them into the ceiling of the inner chambers of the bent pyramid to keep it from collapsing in. And when you go and look at it, architects, even all architects agree that have seen it. These are built at the same time. It's just the way it's built into the stone. The other argument is if they were put in later on, say the Egyptians came in and they, say the pyramid had been there if it was built in 10,500 BC and the Egyptians came in 2,500 BC, that means it had been there for 8,000 years. And then they go in and what's the likelihood that these Egyptians will go into this pyramid that's been sitting there for 8,000 years and look up in the ceiling and be able to diagnose, hey, this needs to be repaired, let's go get cedars of Lebanon and put them in the ceilings. And if the ceiling needed to be repaired, would it have lasted 8,000 years? Probably not. So we have this really strange conundrum of things where, okay, so all of the biggest and best, and I don't just mean the pyramids.
Isn't it bullshit that some companies make their employees work in dark, cramped conditions? Is that good for business? At Vital Farms, we believe happy employees are good for business. Vital Farms, keeping it bullshit-free.
I mean, all of the biggest and best ancient architecture and ancient stone masonry work that's done in Egypt, all of it is not inscribed. There's no inscriptions on any of it anywhere. There's no pharaoh that we know. You know pharaohs are vain. You know they're into themselves, and they want to sign their names on everything. Yeah, of course, but they don't do that. But then at the same time, there are cedars of Lebanon that were built into a pyramid that is built in exactly the same way as all of the other pyramids that weren't inscribed, with cedars of Lebanon that are 4,500 years old. Invariably, they are 100%. The trees are that old, at least. So, you have these two things that are like working against each other, and it's funny that's like the only thing that holds me back from saying, yeah, an ancient civilization that's never been found may have built the pyramids, is those cedars of Lebanon. How do you get around explaining that? And I haven't heard a good explanation, and I'd love to, but, that fascinates me enough. You know what I mean? I just love ancient Egypt and ancient civilizations and ancient mysteries enough that it all fascinates me. I'm not like gonna hold on to my opinion and be like, no, don't change my opinion.
Sure.
So that's kind of that's the super long-winded explanation of how the pyramids were built and the mysteries around
So if I understand it, your big reasoning as to why all the pyramids have to fall into place like ducks in a row, built by the Egyptians across this period in 2500-ish BC, is because of the bent pyramid with the cedars of Lebanon. That's like the canary in the coal mine for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's other little things like, in some of Khufu's mortuary temples that are around his pyramid, and then even inside the pyramids, like up at the top of the pyramid, they pulled back one of the blocks, and there's like graffiti on the inside of the block that was covered up, and there's all kinds of little stuff that people that were working on the pyramids, like they say, like Khufu's gang was here. People that worked for Khufu, and so there's like graffiti that's hidden on the back sides of these blocks where they pull the block out and they find, oh, this isn't like artisan writing. This is just a normal guy who's not an artist writing something, like scraping his name on there. So it's like a group of guys. It's like Khufu's gang was here. We did good work today. Such and such person was here, visited this place. And then so you look at that, and then you look at relative dating of nearby tombs and the pottery that they had. So pottery is a huge thing in archaeology. It's how we, you identify a certain style of pottery that's found at these tombs with biological evidence that still remains. You're able to date that evidence. Okay, we figure out how old this is. Now we watch the pottery evolve and watch people move in different places, because they're always taking pots with them to hold their food and water and everything. So you watch the pottery evolve, and the way the pottery evolves, all through relative dating, and I won't deny it's scant. Like, as scant as my argument is that the Egyptians did build it, it's equally as scant that they didn't. It's like two different things working against each other, but yeah, all in all, in a simple way, I find myself thinking that the pyramids are not the best example of an ancient lost civilization that existed 12,000 years ago. I don't think they're the best example of that. And I think it's the anthropologist in me from like university is screaming saying this because other people would freak out if they heard me say this. But I just think it's slightly more likely that the Egyptians did build it.
Okay. So you have your canary in the coal mine. Mm-hmm. You're looking at some of the graffiti holes there as well.
Yeah.
In your defense, the distance that they had to take some of these things wasn't too far for certain things.
Only for the limestone. Yeah,
the limestone.
For the granite, they're taking it 500 miles.
And that's the next thing. The granite is the problem, though, because then you have a pyramid that's built a similar size or bigger or slightly smaller, whatever it is, than the limestone built from granite. That, again, I'll put this picture in the corner of the screen, but this boat is supposed to carry there. And I like you, I don't know how that doesn't sink it, if they did.
Yeah.
But you're also saying that, I'll speak for one of the examples you gave, you said could be a 20-year period in which it's built. And right now, again, I'm not looking at the number of stones that goes into each of these, but it's
like 2.3 million in the Great Pyramid, something like that.
2.3 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy, huh?
2.3 million stones. In a time when there wasn't, allegedly, any technology to lift them. It's humans, whether they're slaves, not slaves, just workers, or both. It's humans lifting this stuff. Yeah, I'm sure they're working every day. I'm sure they're working 12-hour days, sun up to sundown, whatever. But let's call it 14-hour days, 15-hour days.
Yeah.
But the idea that all could have been done in that type of time period with the perfection of not even being able to fit a credit card in between some of these crevices, and to have it physiologically, like the physics of it, so perfect that outside the one example with the Cedars of Lebanon, potentially them needing to fix something, all these things stand perfectly today. And weather all the storms that Mother Nature's thrown at them, it doesn't add up to me how that could have been built all in that time, how all these could have been built in that time period.